where we start getting all these Supreme Court decisions that they have heard during the prior term. All the decisions start coming out in June. So like literally every other day, there are new new decisions being released by the court again on the cases they've heard in this particular term. But it was 2 years ago today that we learned that they were overturning a Roe v. Wade, and we're talking to Dr. Adams Pickett about the consequences, repercussions of that to date, 2 years later, and the implications of that going forward. She made a powerful point a moment ago, in case you've just tuned in, about the fact, a powerful data point, that the states that have the strictest reproductive justice laws on the books are also the states wherein we see the highest the highest mortality rates. We spent a few weeks ago on this program. Every year we celebrate Black Maternal Health Week, and during that week, pretty much every day, I had a conversation with a variety of women during Black Maternal Health Week, and this issue of black mortality, of course, came up repeatedly during Black Maternal Health Week. And here, Dr. Adams Pickett is making a connection between mortality, certainly black mortality, and these strict laws regarding reproductive issues in these states. Dr. Adams Pickett, tell me more, to the extent you can, about the impact you see this having specifically on African American women.
Well, particularly, Tavis, as I've mentioned before, that we have a number of medical students and residents who are choosing to not go into obstetrics, and we have those who are actually in obstetrics who have dropped that arm of their practice. They're now doing gynecology only, because with the reversal of Dobbs, for many of us, our malpractice insurance rates have quadrupled. And when we look at those like myself who are committed to serving the African American community, many of us are unable to afford to be able to continue doing obstetrics simply because we can't meet the metrics that are now in place because of these rulings that decreases access to those patients within our community who are safer with providers of color. You know, the reality is, studies have shown when you are a black patient and you see a black physician, you have better outcomes. Well, if we can't stay in practice, then who are our sisters and our daughters going to see?
Yeah. Tell me more, just because I'm curious. That's just the way my mind works, and I have a very smart and curious audience as well. I suspect I'm not the only person that wants to hear this answer, but let me ask it. Tell me more about what has driven those insurance rates for you and other physicians sky high. I know what the decision was 2 years ago. Link it more appropriate for me in a way that I can understand the decision to your insurance rates going up. Explain that part, as they say.
Well, you know, again, I think earlier when I mentioned that the prism through which we look at this issue is that these are undesired pregnancies, and that someone is just irresponsibly deciding to terminate their pregnancies. Well, Tavis, I don't know if you know or not, but in 2022, there were 5.5 million pregnancies in this country. 43% of them were due to contraceptive failure, which means that almost 3 million individuals were trying not to get pregnant, but they ended up getting pregnant anyway. So you have people who are going into pregnancy who may not be of the best health. They begin to have pregnancy complications that would not allow a pregnancy to continue in a way that would be safe for the mother, or in a way that even the child is able to survive, pre-viability. But once the obstetrician has to make that decision, let's just say her water breaks, which we call premature rupture of membranes, before viability, before 24 weeks gestation. Mom becomes very, very ill, but not ill enough per that particular state's laws for the obstetrician to move forward and induce labor. So now you're in a position where you now have a mother who is critically ill, and then you have family members who don't understand why this doctor is not intervening quickly. And the next thing you know, if there's an adverse outcome with that mother, now that obstetrician is vulnerable to litigation.
Mm-hmm. I get it
And
now.
so now the insurance companies are saying, hey, we understand your hands are tied, but the average layperson doesn't. The person who would bring litigation against you doesn't understand that. And they're looking at the numbers. They're
Nope.
totally just looking at the numbers.
I get it. That makes sense. That's why I asked. You explained it to me. I
Mhm.
get. I understand now why the insurance rates ran up so high, have run so high. Here's what I don't get though. Well, I do get it. I'm not naive in asking this question either. But I do want to ask it since you went there. I want to follow you. You mentioned that data point a moment ago. 5.5 million pregnancies a couple years ago. 43% due to contraceptive failure. Tell me why you think that part is routinely missing from the conversation about reproductive freedom. This notion that so many women end up pregnant even though they were trying not to be. They're not being reckless. They're not running around killing babies. Many of these persons end up getting pregnant even though they were doing everything they could to not get pregnant. And again, it's always weird for me to even have this conversation because one of my, let me just be transparent here. One of my issues even having this conversation is that it ain't a man's conversation. I'm willing to just say that. I get sick of hearing men talk about this issue. It is not a man's conversation, which is not to suggest that men are not a part of this. Obviously, you got to have a man to do this. So I understand that
Right,
part.
right.
But I get tired, frankly, of men opining on this all the time when it's about a woman and her body. So that disturbs me. But that said, it hit me when you said it in a way that it hadn't before. That when we have this conversation, uncomfortable though it may be, that issue of
Mhm.
contraceptive failure doesn't often come up. What do you make of that?
Yeah. What I make of it is something you somewhat alluded to, Tavis, being alluding to your gender.
Yeah.
But I would like to say that it's not. It's the people who are making the decisions. They are not clinicians.
Yeah.
How about we will take the gender out of it?
Right.
That they forget that this is truly a medical issue. And just as we do not have legislation between a patient and her physician on, say, her fibroid tumors or her heavy menses, this is still a medical condition. And so by those who have no real knowledge about medicine and how things work, how contraceptive works and failure rates and unsafe pregnancies, why are they making medical decisions if they don't know the things that I mentioned to you today in this 20-minute phone call?
Yeah. Powerful point. No pushback from me in that regard. Let me ask you this. I said earlier, and I intend to honor my commitment. I said earlier I would not make you political. I discussed the political ramifications of this in our first hour, but I do want to go inside your office and ask you what you hear and what you see with regard to the women who are your patients about the way this decision 2 years ago has impacted them, how they feel about it. I can't imagine. I mean, when I go see my doctor, we talk about everything. So I can't imagine that you aren't talking to your patients. I'm just trying to get some sense of how impacted women are, how they feel about this issue. Because again, one of the questions here is how this is in fact going to play out in November. So again, I'm not trying to make you political, but I am curious as to what you hear from women about this decision 2 years ago and how it's impacted their lives and the lives of their daughters, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, Tavis, there were a lot of things that I was trained to do as a clinician and I have been exposed to so that I know how to manage. But one thing that I was not really prepared was how to manage terror. Terror. I have patients who know that it is not safe for them to get pregnant, or if they are not financially able to take care of another family member and they've done all that they thought they were supposed to do in order to ensure that the best pregnancy did not move forward, and when that fails, and that pure terror of I don't know what's next. Or they start the pregnancy and we receive lab results that indicate that there is a significant chromosomal abnormality, and then one that could be lethal to them as well as the baby, and then we have no resources for them, and the pure terror. I'm not accustomed to that, even after 23 years of practicing. I don't know how to manage fear at that level.
And so I'm following you. You went there. So what do you do in those moments? And terror is a strong word. I didn't want to interrupt while you were talking because the power, the resonance of that word hit me. You choose your words very carefully, I can tell. But terror is a strong word. So when you find yourself in these moments with patients who feel terror about what is to come, what may happen, et cetera, you weren't trained for it, but obviously there's also something known as on-the-job training. So this has been on-the-job training for you. So what they didn't talk to you in medical school about it, but it's on-the-job training. So I'm just curious, what do you say? I mean, I know it's a case-by-case basis, but give me your comfort level at talking to those persons about these issues these days.
Well, the first thing I try to do is acknowledge that their fear and their terror is real, because also this has been demonized in a way that not only is the patient coping with whatever medical information I've given them, they are now conflicted on an emotional level that somehow that their moral compass is broken. Once they have to make this decision now, because again these women have been told that you're irresponsible, if you were doing right, this would not have happened, and now they feel, well, I need to do something, and something must be wrong with me because I'm even considering doing these things. So we find ourselves, particularly in Georgia, having to find resources for these patients out of state. And for me, the closest one would be somewhere in Virginia. So trying to get from Georgia to Virginia, and again, you talk about the impact on our community, that often from a socioeconomic standpoint, there are many in our community who don't have the resources to travel from Georgia to Virginia for services.
No, as I said at the top of this conversation, there are consequences, there are repercussions, there are implications, pick your term, and those have not subsided. This issue is going to resonate even far beyond November, but it certainly, I suspect, will resonate in November, and that's why I want to spend a few moments with Dr. Adams Pickett today talking about this historical returning of Roe v. Wade 2 years ago today. Dr. Adams Pickett, good to have you on. Thank you for your insights. All the best to you. I appreciate you giving us some time today.
Thank you, Tavis. Thank you for having the conversation.
My great delight. More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward.
For all the freedom-loving folk, this is Tavis Smiley.
I feel like freedom.
Paid for by government.com. Did you know the United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time? Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish, minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9717. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9717 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-9717.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. President Biden and Donald Trump are preparing for next week's presidential debate. The debate will be on CNN June 27th. A 16-year-old white teen will spend 16 years behind bars for the deadly shooting of a black teen in Northeast Florida. Prosecutors say Bobby Dan and 2 other young suspects tried to rob a drug dealer. 15-year-old Mikhail Queen, who was black and was one of the alleged robbers, was killed during the incident. In Maryland, the Baltimore Department of Transportation says there will be detours, parking restrictions, and road closures in place for this weekend's AFRAM Festival. AFRAM celebrates the best in black art, fashion, and music, as well as business. It's one of the largest African-American festivals on the East Coast, drawing as many as 100,000 people each year. That is the latest. I'm Doug Davis from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Enjoy the start of your Friday night. In Costa Mesa, watch for an accident currently on the 405 North after the 55 Costa Mesa Freeway on the right shoulder. And watch for also an accident being cleared to the right shoulder of the 91 East at the 55 Costa Mesa Freeway. Please drive carefully and watch for heavy traffic flow in the area. And then in West LA, watch for a stall in the center divide of the 10 East at the 405, causing stop delays in the area.
Grab a proper breakfast with Wendy's new $3 English muffin breakfast deal. Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Select a request English muffin deal to obtain discount. Not valid for a la carte or combo orders. Single item at regular price.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Dodgers begin a 6-game road trip tonight in Chicago against the White Sox. The White Sox have the worst record in Major League Baseball at 21-58. The game of the day in the WNBA Sunday was the Indiana Fever at the Chicago Sky. The Sky held on for a 1-point win. Big-time game for Sky rookie Angel Reese, 25 points and 16 rebounds. It was Reese's 8th straight double-double. Caitlin Clark also had a double-double for Indiana with 17 points and 13 assists. The LA Sparks are off until Friday night at Phoenix. The Sparks are 4-13 and have lost 6 in a row. Noah Lyles qualified for the Summer Olympics in Paris when he won the 100-meter final at the U.S. Olympic Trials. Lyles of Gainesville, Florida, crossed the finish line in 9.83 seconds. Sha'Carri Richardson of Dallas won the women's 100-meter to make the U.S. Olympic roster. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, y'all, come on.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we fight the power every day.
Yeah,
gotta give us what we want. Gotta give us what we need. Hey!
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it! Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power! Fight the power! Fight the power!
This is KBLA Talk 1580, home of the 2024 Climate Justice Campaign.
Get ready to play. Join the LA84 Foundation Saturday, June 29th for a free Playday block party at 2141 West Adams Boulevard with sports, games, and fun for all ages. With live music, amazing local food, and the spirit of LA's 1984 Summer Olympics celebrating 40 years of impact of the LA84 Foundation. June 29th at LA84's campus in West Adams from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Register at la84.org. See you at Playday.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. Let's get back to more of Tavis Smiley right now.
Walking with my babe, she got great big feet. Long, lean, and Lincoln ain't had nothing to eat, but she's my baby. I love her just the same. I'm crazy about my baby, cause Caledonia is her name. Caledonia, Caledonia, what make your big head so hard? I love you.
It's the best of B.B. King on Tavis, Smiley, as we continue celebrating June as Black Music Month. Who knows who their artist in residence is tomorrow, but today it's the blues. Has been all 3 hours with B.B. King. In this last half hour today, a conversation as promised with A.D. Dolphin about D-Herbs. You hear me read this copy every hour about D-Herbs, this full-body cleanse that is a natural cleansing regimen that can help you lose 20 pounds in 20 days. You hear that all the time. But we invited him in for a conversation today to talk about the benefits of body cleansing, in part because there's a huge story. I mentioned this earlier in today's program. Big story today in the New York Times. And I'm going to just read the first couple paragraphs for you, and then we'll get into our dialogue with A.D. And the headline in today's New York Times is "The New Panacea?" The New Panacea? I read now the first two paragraphs from the New York Times today. In the past 2 years, Ozempic has become a synonym for weight loss. When celebrities slim down, tabloids wondered whether they were all taking the drug. Activists argued that the drug entrenched old norms about body image. People still seem to want to be thin. Ozempic was weight loss. Weight loss was Ozempic. Technically, while Ozempic is a diabetes drug, people can and do take it to drop weight. I could go on, long story. Read it for yourself in today's New York Times about whether or not Ozempic is the new panacea. Why do I start with that? I start with that in part because many of you saw the story last week. It was everywhere on TMZ and everywhere else. So Gayle King went on CBS, and apparently Oprah was a scheduled guest that day, and Oprah wasn't going to make it because she wasn't feeling well. And Gayle goes on national TV and says, Oprah got it coming out of both ends. It's coming out of both ends. Oprah was none too happy about that. They are best friends, of course. But Gayle just put TMI, too much of Oprah's information Gayle put out there. And they eventually did a Zoom call, I'm told, and Gayle backed up a little bit, and Oprah said, well, you don't have to say all that. And so I understand how Oprah felt about that. But then people started talking about whether or not Oprah had it coming out of both ends because she was taking this Ozempic, which she acknowledged taking. I don't even, did she ever actually call the name Ozempic? She said she was taking a weight loss drug. I think she finally did say Ozempic, but if she didn't, she did say she's taking one of these weight loss drugs. So people started talking about whether or not she was sick because of that. Here comes the New York Times today raising this question about whether Ozempic is the new panacea. What's your point, Tavis? Glad you asked. Everybody wants to pop a pill and drop weight overnight, number one. Number two, we don't know enough yet about Ozempic or all the other ones to determine whether or not in the long run they're going to find out that this stuff was harmful to us. I got two words for you. Fen-phen. Remember that? Fen-phen. They said fen-phen was all that then. And then some time passed, and they said, oh, no, fen-phen ain't all that. And they pulled fen-phen back. So I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a researcher. I ain't got no stock in Ozempic. Maybe I should have. But the point is that everybody's talking about these new weight loss drugs because it's quick and it's easy. Now, I bring in A.D. Dolphin to this conversation to talk about this natural regimen, about body cleansing, before I get into the D-Herbs piece and how this actually works. What say you about this story of the New York Times and all the conversation about these quick weight loss drugs?
Tavis, what it comes down to is that, to be honest, there are no shortcuts in life. There are no shortcuts. And usually if you're trying to take a shortcut, that's the thing that's going to actually do you in. So I always tell people, also, when you're dealing with a particular drug, you got to look at the side effects. And some of these weight loss drugs that are out there, you're talking about being nauseous, vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain, constipation, pancreatitis, kidney problems, allergy reactions, gallbladder problems, tumors on your thyroid. So people are trying to take a shortcut, but to be honest, that's the longest way around. And also what happened, and kind of speaking about fen-phen, you said they pulled it off the market. So when people were utilizing that particular thing, all of a sudden now it's gone. You don't know what to do because that was your source. And that's the same thing when it comes to these weight loss drugs, because a lot of these drugs have 10,000 or more lawsuits going on with their particular brand. And if they do decide to pull it off, and that was your substitute to help you lose weight, now you're at a loss. You haven't learned anything. And that's the beautiful thing about cleansing. You get to learn more about your body. You get to learn, how your body deals with food, how to lose weight. It basically shows you the proper way of losing weight. And the best of all, you get to avoid all these side effects.
Yeah. The other thing this article points out is that Ozempic and the others, with Covey and all of them,
right.
I hate just saying Ozempic because they're not the only ones.
Right.
It's one everybody knows. So all these other drugs, what we find in this article today is that they're called forever drugs, because once you take them, you have to take them forever.
That's absolutely true.
Because if you stop taking them, it stops working. It ain't like you take Ozempic, you lose weight, and then you stop. No. If you stop taking it,
it comes back.
It comes back. It stops working.
Yeah, and like I said, you haven't learned anything. You haven't learned anything about your body on how to keep that weight off. All you really learned is how to take a pill. Mm-hmm. And trust me, that pill comes with side effects, and that pill will do you in, unfortunately, at the end of the day.
So tell me more about why then you became a fan, and not just a fan, but a creator, a curator, the person behind D-Herbs.
Because you get to learn something. And look, when you do this, if you're dealing with high blood pressure, this will help you beat high blood pressure within, the first 20 days of it. A lot of times people have been having high blood pressure for 20 years, 30 years. But if you learn how to eat properly, you won't have high blood pressure. And a lot of people are eating their way into sickness, but the same way you got there is the same way you get out. You just got to make better choices. And that's the beautiful thing about the D-Herbs Full Body Cleanse. It's going to teach you how to eat better, and keep those particular things off your back.
How do you win with a program like D-Herbs? And clearly you have won. You've done quite well. You got all kind of testimonials. We'll talk about that
right
when we come forward. But how do you win in a society? My friend calls it a microwave society. We want you're right. There's no shortcut. We want everything. We want it right now, and we have become so accustomed to just popping pills. Your program works, but it's not just as simple as popping pills. You got to be disciplined.
Right.
You got to eat right. You got to this, that, and that. How do you win in a moment when people just want to eat what they eat and pop a pill?
Look, nothing is easy. When you go to college, you had to go for 4 years to earn that degree.
Indeed. Some of us 5 and 6 years, but I ain't calling no names. Yeah.
The beautiful thing about learning how to eat, learning how to deal with your weight, you learn your body. And that's the thing. That's the beautiful thing that you get to learn. And also, the beautiful thing is we get to share that information with our family. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Nothing comes with ease. Ease is a detriment to our society, to be honest, because a lot of people are looking for quick ways out, and there are no quick ways out.
Yep. June is not only Black Music Month, hence our playing B.B. King all day today. It is also Men's Health Month. We'll talk about that, and how now might be the best time for you men, all of us men, to try something to help us lose the weight that we've been carrying around for too long. We'll talk about eating healthy for the summer. It's that time of the year. Everybody's focused on and thinking about health, so no better time than right now to be in conversation with A.D. Dolphin, talking about D-Herbs. We'll continue when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
From Leimert Park with love, this is Tavis Smiley.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month. If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
Looks like Bobby needs a ride again.
Grab the keys. Let's take
Auntie, to the swap meet. Grab the keys.
Whether you're giving rides or hauling gear, do it all in a Chevy SUV. Head to your local Chevy dealer, where well-qualified buyers get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Malibu, Colorado, Blazer, Equinox, Trailblazer, and Traverse limited models. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
1.9% APR for 36 months. Monthly payment is $28.60 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 15.8% must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 7/1/24.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment. LA's 99 neighborhood councils form the grassroots level of the Los Angeles city government. The system was created to connect LA's diverse communities to City Hall. While neighborhood council board members are volunteers, they are also public officials elected to office by the members of their community. Neighborhood councils advocate on issues like homelessness, housing, land use, emergency preparedness, public safety, parks, transportation, and sustainability. They also provide local expertise on the delivery of city services to their various communities. Neighborhood councils are open to participation by anyone who is a part of the fabric of daily life in said community. This includes those who live, work, or own property or a business. If you are interested in stepping up to join your local neighborhood council, visit www.empowerla.org. That's empowerla.org. It's time to think globally, but act locally. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, a.k.a. the Voice of Reason, encouraging you to join me weekdays from 7 to 9 p.m. for the world's most intriguing relationship radio roundtable. Every night, I facilitate and encourage our loyal listeners to participate in the most engaging relationship discussions you'll hear anywhere. So make it a point to rendezvous with me, Zoe Williams, the Voice of Reason, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Trust me, your relationships will never be the same. The VOR is on fire tonight.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
If you're an adult in need of an accredited high school diploma, the Los Angeles Public Library can help. You could earn one for free in as few as 5 months, online with 24/7 access. You also get a personal academic coach, plus special training focused on 9 in-demand industries, as well as a resume and cover letter to advance your career. Visit the website at lapl.org/diploma. That's lapl.org/diploma.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. Pro Football Hall of Famer and urban peace pioneer Jim Brown believed in just that. So he founded the Amera I Can Foundation for Social Change in 1988, focusing on at-risk and high-risk youth in underserved schools and juvenile detention facilities, as well as adult incarceration and reentry initiatives. The core of the Amera I Can program is its 15-chapter life skills curriculum. Mastery of these skills allows individuals to meet their academic potential, conform their behavior to acceptable societal standards, and improve the quality of their lives by equipping them with what they need to confidently and successfully contribute to society. Today, the foundation is led by its president, Monique Brown, who has been actively involved in the organization for more than 25 years. The Amera I Can Foundation continues its work in memory of its founder, actor, philanthropist, and NFL legend Jim Brown. To get involved or make a donation, please visit AmeriCanCommunity.partners. That's AmeriCanCommunity.partners. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
He's rooting for everybody black. Everybody black. More of Tavis Smiley coming your way right now.
More of Tavis Smiley and A.D. Dolphin coming your way right now, talking about D-Herbs. So June is Men's Health Month, as I mentioned earlier, A.D. What's your appeal, your pitch specifically to men when it comes to a program like D-Herbs?
Oh, it could definitely greatly help them. I mean, men suffer from all kind of various things, not just being overweight, prostate cancer, colon cancer, all these particular things. A lot of these things are directed to how we eat. So learning how to eat better, learning how to cleanse and do things like that can aid your body in keeping you healthy is always beneficial.
Yep. I guess the best part of doing what you do, you tell me I could be wrong. I guess the best part is when you see or read or get these testimonials from people.
I love it.
Tell me about that part. Yeah.
Probably my favorite testimonial of all time has to be, I had a preacher. Mm-hmm. He's actually from the Los Angeles area. He weighed about 350 pounds. And he reached out to us and he told us why he wanted to lose the weight. He had his why, and basically is because his wife had kidney cancer. Mm-hmm. And he wanted to be a donor for her. But when you're 350 pounds, they do not allow you to be a donor or even test to be a donor because they understand that you need every single organ you possibly have to stay alive. So therefore, he had to lose weight. He asked us, could we help him? Of course, we took the time to help him. We helped him lose 130 pounds in 6 months. Mm-hmm. And he got the opportunity to test to see if he could be his hero for his wife. It was a beautiful story. It wasn't a dry eye in the studio when we did it. It actually premiered on Steve Harvey's TV show back in the day. Mm-hmm. So people can actually go back and look that up. It was a beautiful story. And those are like some of my proudest moments when I get the opportunity to help people accomplish their goal. That's the most satisfying part about this particular job.
When we come forward in our remaining moments with A.D. Dolphin, we'll talk about that discipline part. He says, "Ooh, you hear that?" We'll talk about the discipline that it takes. There are no shortcuts. I don't. If you can try Ozempic if you want to. You can try Ozempic. You can do D-ERT, whatever it is. There are no shortcuts. And again, it really shouldn't be about shortcuts anyway. It's learning, as you say, how to eat healthy.
Yeah.
Once you learn that part.
And you get to pass that information onto your kids, onto your family. You got to remember that black people, 42% of us have high blood pressure. Yeah. 38% of us have diabetes, and it's all because we're making bad choices when it comes down to eating food. So therefore, that information needs to be passed on down.
Our remaining moments with A.D. Dolphin when we come forward on Tavis Smiley.
Unapologetically progressive. Unapologetically black. You're tapped into Tavis Smiley.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. benefitscheckup.org.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more, all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada. Member FDIC.
Have you been a victim or witness to hate or discrimination? Contact the California vs. Hate hotline to report the incident by calling 833-8-NO-HATE or visit cavshate.org. They'll help you access resources and support, including legal, financial, mental health, and mediation services. California vs. Hate is not affiliated with the police, and you can report anonymously. Use your voice. Report hate by calling 833-8-NO-HATE or visit cavshate.org. Res Radio 91.3.
Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk.
Life hack.
Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data, all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or StraightTalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months if eligibility requirements are met. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com.
Happy anniversary, KBLA!
KBLA Talk 1580 is now celebrating 3 years of amplifying our voice and uplifting our community. We deeply appreciate your support of this radio station and will always do our level best to earn your support. Here's to many more years of loving and serving our community. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
I know it's gonna happen without you.
More honesty than you can handle. More empowerment than you can imagine. You're tuned in to Tavis Smiley.
Eddie Dolphin is the creator, the force behind D-Herbs, a full-body cleanse, a natural cleansing regimen that can help you lose 20 pounds in 20 days. It will also boost your immune system and improve your digestion, as you hear me say all the time on this program. But I want him to come in because this is June. Again, it's Black Music Month. It's also Men's Health Month, and we're at that point of the summer where everybody wants to sort of get healthy for the summer. But I was saying, before I let you go, that I want to talk about that discipline part. What say you to people who have the most I think more of us, this is my own assessment, and this ain't scientific, but I know a lot of people, and I talk to a lot of people. I think more of us would be healthier if we could discipline ourselves better. And I'm not going to lie to you. I've done a lot of things in my life. I feel very fortunate. I mean, God has been good to me. I've been blessed to. I've accomplished a lot in my life. I've done a lot of things that were not easy to do. But I think most people will tell you that maintaining weight or losing weight is one of the most difficult things to do because it requires a certain level of discipline. And we can discipline ourselves in other aspects of our lives, but we find it more difficult to discipline ourselves when it comes to food. Why do you think that is?
Wow, that's such a great question. It really comes down to, first of all, you can't accomplish anything in life without discipline. Mm-hmm. So weight loss it's going to be the exact same thing. I think what it is that since you're healthy, when you are healthy, we tend to only get desperate when it's on the line, when our health,
get a bad diagnosis.
We find out, hey, we're pre-diabetic. Hey, you have high blood pressure. You need to probably start taking this pill. When you start getting all that information, then you start taking notice to what's going on. I just think that it's so hard to get healthy when you're sick. Mm-hmm. But it's easier to stay healthy when you're healthy. So it's just that we just got to make a decision on what's important.
That's a lot easier said than done, though.
It is. It's tough. But like I said, people only pay attention to it when they're on their deathbed.
Yeah, and that's the sad part. So here's your opportunity to get healthy now before it's too late. So you can start to lose weight with a natural cleansing regimen. It's called D-Herbs Full Body Cleanse. If you call 866-434-3727, you can order it that way, or just go to dherbs.com. Either way, if you mention Tavis, as you hear me say all the time, they will give you a discount at checkout. dherbs.com, experience healing. We've experienced a great conversation with Eddie Dolphin. Thank you for the time, sir. Good to have you come in. Thank you very much. Just like that, 3 hours gone. We are back here tomorrow to do it all over again. Let me just tell you, tomorrow, I was looking at the rundown for tomorrow's show. Right quick. Where is it? Connie Rice is here tomorrow in our first hour. One of my favorite contributors, Connie Rice, is here tomorrow. Alua Arthur, who was here a while ago, and we got cut short. There was some breaking news that day, and we had to cut her short. But this is the doula that everybody was talking about. She's a doula, just an amazing person. And that conversation got cut short for some breaking news that day. But tomorrow we have her for the death doula. So we have some good time with her tomorrow. She's here on the program for a full hour. So we start with Connie Rice tomorrow. We have Alua Arthur here tomorrow and some other guests in the third hour. So tomorrow's going to be a great show, as was today. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, keep the faith.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Today marks 2 years since Roe v. Wade was overturned by the Supreme Court. The landmark decision ended the constitutional right for an